Mr. Speaker, I rise today to offer an amendment rooted in the values that I know we all share. While we may disagree over various aspects of federal policy and K-12 education, they're important areas where we can, in fact, find common ground. We all believe that our children deserve an education that prepares him or her to succeed in a modern economy. We all know that far too many children don't get that chance today, particularly children in minority and high-poverty schools. We all know that over the next 10 years, jobs in STEM fields, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, are expected to grow at almost twice the rate of jobs in other fields. Today in Massachusetts, Mr. Speaker, the unemployment rate for Hispanic residents is 60% higher than for their white neighbors, and it's over 110% higher for African Americans. Even more alarming, the poverty rate for black families in Massachusetts is 144% higher than their white neighbors, and it's 273% higher for Hispanics. Shockingly, those numbers are actually better than far more states across the country. While our economy is steadily improving, that gap is a dangerous economic undercurrent that, left unaddressed, will affect us all. For an increasingly globalized and competitive economy, we need to ensure that we are tapping all the talent and potential that we have here in America in order to succeed. Title I funds are some of the best resources that federal government has to make sure that every child in every school has a fair chance at the starting line, delivering much-needed assistance to schools that disproportionately serve minority and low-income communities. But this bill, in its current form, would jeopardize the already inadequate resources so many schools depend on. The Democratic substitute is a better path. It would protect those Title I resources and allow them to serve their original civil rights purpose, to ensure that each of our students has an equal chance to succeed. I join my Democratic colleagues in wishing that we were not considering a bill today that would consolidate Title I funds and undermine their historic role. But the amendment I offer today says that even if we are going to be living in a world of proposed cuts and block grants, STEM education and economic justice are still priorities we must elevate. My amendment would simply allow, but it would not require, states to use their flexible Title I funding for grants that support the success of women, minorities, and low-income students in STEM. Too often, Mr. Speaker, the resources our teachers need to prepare their students for jobs today and tomorrow are limited by zip code, gender, and race. That makes this far more than an economic issue. It's a civil rights issue that will define our society for generations to come. I know that we all support equal access to the jobs in a modern economy. It's why we must pass this amendment, increase the reach of STEM education to communities that need it most, and ensure that a student's potential isn't limited by the street that he or she grows up on. With that, Mr. Speaker, I reserve the balance of my